What's up people, welcome to Picklers. Today I present to you the most awaited paddle review yet. This is the Bird Falcon Elite. Now I know it looks weird and USAPA was probably high before approving this paddle, but here we are. So my first question was why? In this video, I'll cover two parts. Why does this paddle exist and how does it perform on court? When we play pickleball, our wrist creates a bisecting angle with the paddle itself. You can understand it by this image right here. Now, the creation of this angle had not caused any harm to anyone for all these years but the guys at Bird Pickleball. I think some nerdy engineers at Bird one day decided that the world needed symmetry and balance and thus decided to get rid of this bisecting angle and to make a paddle which resembles the natural position of our hand and creating a straight path, no angles. And I guess after some trials and errors, we have this. And believe me, this isn't the first of its kind. After doing some digging, I discovered an almost dead paddle company which made something really similar to this, just got rid of all the sharp angles. And guess their name? PBZ. Had to be it. So the company Bird is a venture of a group called Grip 6. So these guys from Bird got themselves on TV for two paddles they had. This paddle, half the people even don't know this exists in the world. I think this paddle was the biggest innovation in pickleball industry after discovery of thermoforming paddles. And no, PBZ is not me. It's pickle boards. They consider this a board of pickleball. They created boards. This is not the first of its kind, but definitely the leading one because PBZ shut down. This was some backstory and reasoning for existence of this paddle. Now I'll share how it performs on court and is it worth it. This paddle is 16 mm thick and has T700 Torre carbon fiber all over it. The handle is 7 cm long and pretty comfortable to grip until you start playing with it. I'll explain it later on. So let's start with the kitchen area. The paddle is simply outstanding on the volleys. And if you're a fan of the Ben John's backhand roll, it's gonna be wait for it, dairy. It's gonna be legendary. But we have bigger things to deal with than volleys. Now this was all the good part for the paddle and buckle up for the bad one. When you go near the baseline and start hitting or driving the ball properly, you add some elements to the ball. May it be slice, pop, roll, anything. But with this paddle, it all is restricted. The ball has no element in it which causes its direct downward motion. If you have ever read my blogs, you would know that a good ball travels in an arc which is difficult to hit. And for it to travel in an arc, it needs some element, may it be spin, roll, something. And if you don't have these elements, the travel of the ball will be pretty dull and will be easier for the opponent to return and even end the point. There has to be a force which is pulling the ball down after it goes up. And no, it's not gravity, it's the element which you add in it. Unless there is no element in the ball won't be pulled down in the arc and it will be the worst return ever. It will be like someone is feeding you the ball when drilling. That will be the experience for your opponent if you play with this. The point is that if your arm is outstretched with the paddle in a linear path, you can't add these elements. You need to align the paddle in a particular way which is just not possible while you're playing a match or even rec play. If you want me to sum up whatever I just said, this paddle can't be used at the baseline. This paddle is a nightmare for players at 4.0 and above. But for amateurs and senior players, this is pretty great. Why I say this can be great for senior players and amateurs is because you don't add much spin or much elements when you're playing with it. Generally, the most competitive shot which an amateur or a senior player hits is the third drop shot, which I admit are pretty good with these for everyone. My point is that if you're a good player with strategies on your mind, you should definitely pass this paddle. But if you play pickleball for fun, excitement and fitness, this paddle is just the formula of fun for you. I think the paddle was created for pros, but the targeted audience is definitely away from them and more towards the rec play centers and new emerging amateur players. So these were my thoughts on the Bird Falcon Elite. If you liked the review, please share it and I hope this was helpful. See ya.